Hello everyone, welcome back to Shivoham Path, the place where we discuss Madhurya Bhakti, astrology, and deep secrets that nobody really talks about in Sanatan Dharma. So today I'm not gonna teach you anything, not gonna transmit any kind of knowledge like in the previous video. So in this video, you will be getting a much more raw experience, starting from my childhood. How did I discover my love for Shiv? How did I deal with, childhood to teenage transition? And did Bhakti really stay with me throughout the time? At what age did I really discover the kind of love I have for him? And, to the present stage where I'm currently considering myself married to him. So how did I get here? That is basically going to be this whole video. So let's start from my childhood. As far as I remember, I was 2 or 3 years old. My first encounter with him happened. And it's not through some dream or some mystical experience. It was just a serial that used to air on, I think, Doordarshan, I suppose. It was Om Namah Shivaya serial. In the beginning of that serial, there is like a title song, which is Om Namah Shivaya. And I used to watch it like I just was enchanted. I literally remember, even to this day, I remember, I was looking at it and I still don't know how to express it in words what I was feeling. I just had some kind of memory reawakening. So if you guys remember this particular scene, it's like a fire figure of Shiv doing Tandav to this particular song. And all I thought the entire time was, I know him. I remember him. This is the whole time I'm thinking. And it's not like a 2-year-old, 3-year-old will have some kind of external influence to think that. So I always knew this. And I was naturally into all kinds of puja part. It's not like someone was teaching me anything or something that I was following because it's a ritual, because my family is doing it. My family doesn't believe in any rituals actually. They are Vaishnavites and we have like a Krishna idol. Since childhood also we had a huge Krishna idol and there is a couple of pictures of other gods, but not really so into Shiv Bhakti. I used to just play with these things, basically the puja items. I go into the puja room or the where everything is kept related to worship and I'll pick them out and I play with them. So from childhood I had this thing where I could detach from my body. I will be just sitting like this and I can look around and I'll be like, wait, I am human? This is a human life? This is earth? These are people I am associated with. So I used to have this kind of disassociation at times during childhood where I had to remind myself again and again that this is a human life, I am a human and these are the people I'm associated with. But it used to be very difficult for me at times to understand that I'm human. I used to have visions like the whole universe is right in front of me. I used to have visions where I could see Shiv right in front of me. I used to feel like all this is like a movie. But other than that, yes, during childhood, I was always drawn to these things. The kind of cartoons I used to watch, the Ramayana, the games I used to play with other kids were enacting Ramayana. So I was always interested in this, Puran, Katha, Bhagwan, like playing out these things, pretending to be them. This was my best playtime event. And I used to dress up as Durga. I used to carry the weapons and everything. So this used to be something that I used to love doing. But my mom keeps saying something when we have this discussion over what has happened from the time, all this started to the current period. The other day she mentioned something very interesting. So when she was pregnant with me, suddenly she became a Shiv Bhakt. She was always a Shiv Bhakt. She used to do Monday Vrat and everything. But she was not like all the time doing japa, all the time thinking about him. No. But the moment she got pregnant with me, even though there was domestic troubles and everything in the family, she was so into japa. She was constantly doing Om Namah Shivaya, even if throughout the day, throughout the night, sometimes she won't be able to sleep. So she will keep on chanting his name. And all while I'm in there. So she was saying that, oh, maybe because of that is why you are like this. Funny thing is, the moment I came out, she stopped all this. I was telling her, it could be other way around actually. Maybe I was in there, that's why you got into all this. The moment I came out, now it was my prarabdh to carry it forward. So childhood went pretty smooth. I was doing all these funny things. Nobody had any problem with it. Everyone just took it as if it's a childhood play. After she grows up, it will be over. But in the teenage, what happened? I had to move from the place where we used to live. We were living in Delhi during my childhood. Until I was 10, 11 years old, we were in Delhi itself. My father worked there. So it was just me, mom, and my father. Nobody else really bothered us. But the moment I crossed into teenage, we had to move back to my hometown, that is Kerala. Uh, and here it was an entirely different culture, different type of people, different type of looking at everything. It came as a culture shock for me a lot, and I was going through a like almost a depressive period because nobody was able to accept me, nobody was able to understand where I'm coming from. I was just so liberal for this place, and the dressing, the way I carried myself, the kind of naivety I had. I didn't know a lot of things. Even in Delhi, I had like very few friends, like a couple of friends, and I used to stay in that. I don't used to go around talking to everyone. But here, nobody was able to talk to me, and nobody was able to really understand my psyche, or was not able to understand my point of view for anything. So I felt a lot of isolation and everything. But because of that, I don't know, but due to general life conditions at that time, I moved completely away from bhakti, I moved completely away from Shiv. So like until 12 to 14, 15-year old, I was like that only. But then when I actually started having romantic interests in men, that's when, I started feeling like a certain type of men that I'm attracted to, larger than life, masculine, so and so. And in my subconscious, I know I'm looking for that one, but I couldn't put it into a vessel. Like I couldn't find the vessel. Like I'm trying to, get attracted to someone, but they're all crushes. They're not like resulting in any kind of relationship. One fine day, I was at my cousin's house, um, and my grandma and my cousins used to watch Devukela Mahadev, but in Malayalam. So that, and I used to make fun of them, like, you guys are watching bhakti serials. What is wrong with you guys? But at 10 o'clock, this serial is airing. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll give it a watch. Let's see what's so good about this. There is a sequence where Shiv takes a human form and comes to Sati's house for making a shilp, a sculpture. So the scene that I'm first coming across is the one where there is a parallel going on between Jata and the Shiv form, and then suddenly Jata turns. I still remember being completely dumbfounded. I'm like, that was my reaction for literally 5 to 10 minutes. I don't know what it was. I never felt anything for Mohit Rana. Please don't mistake that. I never had crush for him. I never felt anything outside of that costume that he wears. So it was never for him. I just saw his eyes and I recognized something. I was like, hey, this is the same person that I'm looking for, from like the crushes and the people that I'm trying to, find that spark in people. There it is. But I still didn't attach to the vessel. I was attached to the form that he is. I mean, the character he's playing. So, and it's kind of symbolic that I'm getting attracted. The first time I'm getting exposed into, his story and, all that is through Jata, which is like telling me that, the human form of him taking a human form. So I was that, got coded into my head, I guess. From there, I have always been looking for him. Regardless of how many times I have liked someone, most of the time it's one-sided crushes. And I lose everything while doing this as well. It's funny actually. But nobody was able to embody what I was trying to find. That's my personally that's what I have been feeling. So at one point, I tried my best actually. I tried everything to be the Shakti of the people that are not even close to what I'm looking for. Yeah, sure. In Advait, everyone has Shiv in them, everyone has Shakti in them. So some people get confused over this. So what is the point of this? Oh, you can only marry this person, you can only marry that person. That means your father, mother, everyone is equal to you then? No, that's when the karmas work, right? You are your karmas basically. If you are in a form of a human body, you are inside a human body, is why you are thinking this way. Because you're coded and you are basically wearing a costume stitched by your karmas, right? So you cannot think beyond this body because of those karmas as well. That's why we do sadhana, that's why we do, meditation practices. All these things that exist are to actually release you from this thought that you are this body, you are this mind. I have to tell you guys, when it comes to Advait and why it doesn't work in terms of human relationships like your father, mother, brother, sister, husband, wife, all this won't count when you try to understand Advait. Advait is all about you and yourself, you getting that experience that everything in this universe is just a reflection of who you are. So that is basically what Advait is trying to tell you. But people who are still in that defiance are still karmically bound to their body and mind won't be able to understand it, and that's not their fault at all. When I try to tell other people that, I'm from Advait, so they will tell me, in that case, everyone is Shiv. Why don't you just marry just anyone? That is simply not possible. Because I have reached a place after doing my sadhana, my consciousness has, reached a particular point, and it has to reflect with the person I'm getting with. I cannot just marry someone who is still, bound by their karmas, bound to their body and mind. It's simply not possible. It's nothing to do with who is special, who is not. It's simply about what you experience as a divine consciousness. And I completely gave into that. For example, I was just having a normal day and I heard this Chandrachuda, that particular kirtan, and there is this line, Sundara Thara Pinagadhara Hara. So that portion, I still remember. Randomly, I hear it and something snapped inside me, and I'm just lost, I'm gone. And I'm having some kind of bhava samadhi, I think, where I am experiencing him as if he is pulling me back. Like, you are on the wrong path, come back to me. That's how I interpret it. So it felt like I have been wandering looking for him all around the world. And finally, when it's time, he was like, nope, you have to come back, you have to do your work. So that's when I started looking seriously for a path. I searched many places for something that will resonate for me, because I did listen to many gurus, I tried doing different practices, but none of them really suited what I really believed in. I'm the type of person who doesn't really do any rituals. If you tell me to do rituals, I'll question them. Why do you have to do that? The divine is within you, and I experience divine on a normal basis. I never really understood, why would you need that when he's right here? So I always used to ask him also, like, for you, why do I give bail patra and all this? You're like, just like me. You're just here with me. Wouldn't just having a conversation or doing something for you, isn't that enough? So this is how I used to function. So I never used to get into any of these like strict practices. I was reading about all of them, but I never resonated with them. And one fine day, this is what destiny looks like. I just randomly came across a website, and it was about Mahasiddha Yoga. And that's when I first time read about Laleshwari. Laleshwari is someone very similar to Akka Mahadevi. She was in Kashmir, and she was the pioneer of Kashmiri Shaivism. Her walks literally talk about erotic bhakti, but not, as humans understands eroticism. It's the soul yearning for the divine consciousness. So in her walks, you can see that she's openly telling Shankara that, I'm ready to be taken by you. Please come and just have me. I cannot handle this yearning anymore. So the way we express this particular longing in Madhurya Bhakti is a little, yes, taboo at times, can be counted as something that unacceptable to many people. When I was reading these things, it was first time resonating with me. I was like, wait a minute. People used to tell me that nobody can feel this way for Shiv. I was burying this whole time, thinking that yeah, nobody would accept it. Even though people were getting some idea that what kind of bhakti I'm having towards him, nobody had the courage to tell me that, you shouldn't do this. Because obviously it was looking very natural. I'm not like reading something or someone told me to do this. Which kid would be told that you should see Shiv as a husband? No kid would be told that, right? Even as you grow up, you will be told otherwise only, that you cannot. But nobody had the courage to tell me because it was so natural. It was just looking like there was no performance in it, and nobody had really a say in it. Like, what can they say anyway? But yeah, some astrologers did tell me that this is wrong, you cannot do this and all that. And I'll tell them that, there is nothing I can do. I'm just helpless. Even if you want me to change the way I see him, he won't let me do that. So I'll just be like, yeah, you guys say whatever you want. I can do only what I am coded for. So finally, when I reached out to the people associated with this, I felt much more connection. You don't need to do any kind of rituals. You don't need to do any kind of sadhanas, strict yoga asanas, nothing like that. It was just getting Shakti part. That is one thing. Your guru will definitely transfer some kind of like divine energy. And that's basically awakening your own Shakti through their Shakti and the divine consciousness all coming together. It's like a beautiful way of how Shivan Shakti itself works. So Shakti part is a very accepted and one of the most strongest forms of awakening another soul. So when I received my Shakti part, to be very honest, I actually thought this is probably not working. For a very long time, I was doing my practice, I was doing my sadhan, I was dedicated to my guru, regardless if I believe or not believe. But I felt like nothing was changing, nothing was happening. I was not having any kind of contact with Shiv. I was still thinking of him outside of me, actually. I was seeking him outside. So I was like, I'm not getting any closer to him. But as time progressed, it was January 2025, very recent. So I suddenly lost my job. I lost everything pretty much. I was relying on, at the time, my partner to take care of my bills and everything. And that's when, things started changing a little. Suddenly, Mahakumbh related videos, Mahakumbh related activities, what is the story behind it, all this is popping up. But I'm still not getting this idea that I should go. I'm like, okay, something's happening, it's great, wonderful. But then my friend who I used to have like long conversations with about spirituality, this person told me that, you know what, your Shiv might be there right now. He might be dipping every day there and everything. And I was like, what are you talking about? You think Shiv will be there? He said, yeah, of course. He'll be like disguised as a sadhu or something and taking dip every day. I didn't think twice. I just booked the tickets and I just had to go. To be honest, my experience was probably a little bit of ego shattering, because what I had to go through, because the crowd, the kind of facilities, like because of the crowd, was getting disrupted. And at that same day, Draupadi Murmu, our president, was also visiting Prayagraj. Oh my god, I still remember asking Shiv, what have I done so bad that you are making me go through all this? Like, I had to walk for 50 kilometers straight without water, literally in like the kind of heat. The sun was on my face and I was just walking, and the road is not ending. But I had taken up that sankalp that no matter what, I will dip in the Triveni, not one of those smaller banks or something. I'll go where the Triveni Sangam happens. I'll go there only and I'll dip. For some reason, when I reached there, everything just worked out. The people around me were so nice. I was on a solo trip. So imagine, being on a solo trip, you have to dip, you have to change. I don't know how, but I just happened to do all of it very smoothly. No trouble. Nobody was even looking at me in a weird way. No problem at all. Everyone is just being so cooperative. They're holding, my stuff and everything when I'm taking the dip. And I carried my shivling also. So they were all like very happy about it and everything. They were helping me out a lot. But the experience did change something, I feel. At that time, I didn't feel anything. But looking back at it now, it was like a planting ground. It's not like your pap will get washed away or something. When you dip in Triveni Sangam, you basically let go of a lot of parts of your ego. You have washed away the thoughts of being important, being superior. You think of your journey to be something special. The whole Mahatwakankshi type of thoughts literally washed away at the banks of Prayagraj. And from there, I went to Kashi. That was the first time I went to Kashi. I stepped into Kashi. I still remember it was a evening. Yes, I had some trouble even after getting to Kashi. I had trouble finding where I was staying. The place was very small. Everything was a little like troublesome, I would say. It was crowded because of Mahakumbh again, so I couldn't go literally anywhere. But even the places I could go were wonderful. That left a lot of impression for my upcoming journey. And then I went to this temple in Mahashamshan, Manikarnika, and I never have heard that such a temple exists inside the Shamshan. I never saw any reels about it. I never read anything about it. So it was kind of a surprise when I got into it. Even while I'm talking about this particular experience, I feel like a smoky feeling is arising inside me. So I don't know if it's a response from him. But when I got into this particular temple, I saw him. I sat there for 10 to 15 minutes, and coming out of it, I felt like I want to cough. I was feeling like a choking feeling in my throat because since the beginning of my spiritual journey, it was my throat chakra that always had issues. So everything gets stuck here. The blockages were mostly there. So whenever I used to like research about it or read about it, I used to get this idea that oh yeah, when throat chakra is closed or throat chakra has the blockage, that means you didn't talk about your truth. You didn't communicate your truth well enough in your past lives, or that's basically your major karma, to speak your truth, to voice your experience. So somewhere along the lines, I knew what my dharma is, which is associated with my voice, which is associated with what I express. So I knew something was associated with this. So I felt like some blockages were getting removed while I was there. And when I came to my room, I sat in meditation. I was doing my sadhana. Suddenly, unusual something happened. Until then, yeah, I was having visions of Shiv. I was having this and that, but this time, what happened was nothing related to that has ever been experienced by me before. I was literally sitting in my room, and suddenly the whole room disappeared. I was sitting now in the Shamshan, Manikarnika Ghat, and this temple is also there. So I'm seeing this temple, I'm seeing the chitta being burnt all around me, and there is so many beings, like some of them don't have arms, some of them don't have heads, some of them don't have faces, some of them don't have legs. They're dancing, they're doing this and that, and suddenly I see like a figure is walking from between them, and for a second my heart is beating while I'm narrating this. So when I'm looking at him, he is beyond anything I have ever read anywhere. I have not read this particular description anywhere. I have never come across anything like this before. He is covered in jata. His skin is fully like ash smeared, and he's completely naked. and he starts dancing. None of them are alive, and I'm the only one, probably at least half alive, I would say. I was on a threshold, like between life and death. And I'm watching him dance. And this dance was, I don't know how to explain this, but it lasted for at least 30 minutes or more, definitely. And he's cutting off limbs, he's drinking blood, and he's laughing at his full volume. And I don't know when it stopped. I just passed out, I think. I don't remember consciously leaving this particular vision. I just was watching him for this whole time while he was doing this. But he never even looked at me. He never acknowledged that I'm watching or all this. I understood that this man is Shiv. I understood that much. And I just fell in love with whatever I was looking at. It is probably a scariest image that anyone can probably even cook up in their head. I never thought about him like this. I never imagined him like this. This was basically shattering every image I have built about divinity. Whatever I thought was divinity ended right there in that moment. And from there, literally after this particular vision I had, I was never the same. I couldn't go back to being the same person again. Everything just dissolved. All of it. Like my ideas about what is divine, what is not divine, what is pure, what is impure, who is man, who is woman, all of it dissolved that day, that night during that vision. And from there, things started moving towards my dharma, what I have to do in this life. I was getting visions of the reels I need to make. I was getting visions of the kind of channel, the kind of community I need to create, the courses I have to put forth. I was getting all kinds of input. To more or less, I was feeling like it is coming from him, but it was also somewhere me getting access to future. Like I was able to see what is already happening in the future, getting visions of what is happening in the future and doing it here, like channeling something from the future and putting it in the present, because in the future it already exists. So just channeling what was already existing and putting out there. So this is what was happening for me whenever I was creating something, writing something, ideas that I was getting, all of it from these kind of inspiration. And then after a few months, when the Instagram picked up, I went to Kashi again. I don't know why I had sudden urge to go to Kashi. I was feeling like that is my sasural. And he's calling me. He's giving me reels after reels. Because I believe the social media, YouTube, Instagram, AI, everything is him. That Digambar dance I watched of him, after that, for me, everything, literally the camera, literally my laptop, everywhere I see him. Anything that comes up there, or accidentally I see something, I'll be like, oh, you want me to do this, or you want me to check out that. So whenever I was getting these reels after reels of Banaras, I was like, okay, you're calling me. So I think it's already pretty long video. So I will come again with part 2 for explaining what happened in my second visit, because after this the story gets a little dramatic and fun, a little tragic here and there, but I'll keep you updated. Thank you.